boy, you better get your ass from off my porch beating on my door like this. I will call the police. You need to leave. Don't you ever beat on my goddamn door like that. Go. Okay.
How's it?
I'm going to take your husband and fuck him 6 weeks from Sunday. Maybe when I'm done with him, you can have him back. If he wants to come back.
Dara.
This doesn't concern you. This is between me and your wife.
Bang, are you going to let her speak to me like this?
Oh, he can't help you. Now I take it that we will not need to have this conversation again.
All right. Before we get started up in here, people, do some little housekeeping. Yes, welcome again to another edition here on the Chaos Rain channel. I go by name Chaos Rain, as you know, the one and only. If you're new to the channel, welcome to welcome to Chaos Rain channel. Also, for those that will subscribe in the near future, you know the drill. You hit that subscribe button, hit that top notification bell for uploads and the live streams here on the Chaos Rain channel. Also, follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. Add me on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook, and join the Discord servers of the Chaos Rain channel. That is in the About section on the YouTube channel. And as I'm going through certain things, matter of fact, let me stop this because this is distracting. I'm going to close the Discord. And as you know, as I'm going through the listings, sharing videos, posting videos, as you know, YouTube always will send notifications, but YouTube is fronting, like always. And, you know, patience is a virtue. All right, let me exit this. Exit this. Who else is here? Going through the. As you know, I gotta do this every time, people. As you know, the silence is a virtue. And what else I'm missing? And this one should be an interesting stream. I mean, interesting for a good reason. And who else am I trying to find? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. I think that's it. Let me put this one. And I can't forget the email. Oh, no. I always got to remember the email. Got to find out. Got to put an email out for the notifications, as always. I'm trying to find everything on here. What I'm looking for. Is that one here? Let's see, literature. All right. Let's get this party started. But before I go into the actual video, there was something that came to my attention about the birth controls pills and how effective, I think even the 1 day pill or something, is how it really is useful in regards to the preventing pregnancy. And I found something very interesting when Googling it. And I had to share this with y'all. And let me see. Okay. There's good health. So I'm going to read 2 articles. One that was posted back in 2022. And eventually, after I go through this, I'm going to see if I can find one more article. But there was one particular one. And this one right here might be shocking to a lot of ladies that are, quote unquote, overweight. So let me share this. Where is it? And then we're going to get on to the stream and the presentation at hand. How effective is Plan B in people with overweight? Now, before I go into this, I always thought that usually when people have either sex unprotected or not, and I mean unprotected or not, because sometimes if you have the condom on, you have a less chance, but you still want to be able to protect yourself regardless. That how effective is it in preventing pregnancy? How useful it is to preventing pregnancy? I never put thought into it because usually when they create these things, usually it's supposed to be effective for all weight, all gender of women, meaning any ethnicity, racial demographics of women dealing with pregnancy. But it says here, Plan B, which is called, I think it's pronounced Levin gestrel, is a form of emergency concept used effectively at preventing pregnancy. It's taken shortly after unprotected sex. Plan B does not have a weight limit on the labels in the US, but many studies show the pregnancy rate is higher for women with heavier body weight. Alternate choices for emergency contraception for a large body size include a copper, what they call interferon, I think that's how I pronounce it. I get tongue tied. Device. I think that's IUD. That's the thing they put in your arm. And what they call Lipizzole Ella, a prescription medication. Mind you, if I butcher the names, I apologize. Plan B, step by step, is the next choice, and after all, of all brand names, the big names I named from the L. Levengrot emergency concept, etc., which we're not going to go into. Does Plan B have a weight limit? The short answer is no in the US, but there is no weight limit for Plan B. That's what it says. But Healthy Canadians and regulator agencies place a warning of what they call levogestrel products for their countries, though. The labels warn of lower effectiveness in those who weigh more than 165, and even go as far as lack of effectiveness for those who weigh more than 175, more than 175, more than 175. What is the average weight for people, women in general in America? Roughly over the average limit, over 160. They said now, and y'all could Google this. If y'all want, I'll Google it, just quickly double check. But I think the average weight now for women and the obesity rate, from what I hear, is 180. 1 second, people. Hold on. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm back. Check out something. But let's continue on with the reading. And make sure you like the stream. Plan B is effectiveness and weight. Women with large bodies need to know that Plan B may be less effective or not work at all as emergency contraceptives. Now, mind, this is for the Plan B people. Studies suggest that Plan B may be less effective in women who weigh 165 pounds to 176 pounds, 75 grams to 80 kilograms, and even less effective in women who weigh over 176 pounds, 80 kilograms, especially those with a body mass index BMI of above 30. And we all know average women, because we have a obesity crisis in America, per se. And it's roughly that and maybe greater than 30. But nonetheless, why I'm revealing this? Because we know that you hear constantly that these dudes will be raw dogging women that are a little bit more bigger, depending on their height. And they are going to be coming and going in raw and heavy and be shooting up the club with a lot of ladies. And 9/10 of the time, they think the ladies are going to be on some form of contraceptive, like birth control pills or, I use you, And normally, sometimes it's not the case. And usually, if you're doing that type of sex as a brother to random women, you do put yourself at risk. Sorry to say it, but it's true. And much like it, a lot of men don't want to hear this, but if you're dealing with women that are, especially now, are normally much bigger than they are, you do put the risk of pregnate them at a moment on a given notice. And personally, hold on. Personally, it's a bad look when you have to sit to knock up a woman that you don't want to be with long term. And to find out, this new study has came around that now you gotta be extra cautious, because in America they say there's no weight limit, but other studies show otherwise. I wonder why. But let's keep going. And in one study, women take Plan B who weigh over 176, 80 kilograms, or roughly 75 kilograms, 165. The same pregnancy rate as those who did not use any emergency concepts. The same studies found that women with a BMI or above 30 were 4 times more likely to have pregnancies occur after taking the Plan B than women with BMIs below 25. Generally, women with weight in this range and recommend the use of alternate forms of emergency contraceptive, such as copper intrauterine devices, IUD, I think that's and liposine, Ella, liposol, I think that's how you pronounce it. And some experts say that if a person who heavier body weight is not above the receiving of copper IUD or what they call Uperol or Leprosol, they can make a double dose of Plan B. But that's, remember, if it's already not effective, once you weigh a certain BMI, chances are it won't be effective taking more of the average dose. Just saying. But the US, this is not common also. The only studies that look at the safer and effective of double dose have been very small. Large studies would be needed to confirm that this is appropriate option for emergency concept. Never take a double dose of Plan B without your healthcare provider. Okay, and I wonder why, because it's very dangerous. Why is Plan B less effective if you weigh more? Experts don't completely know why Plan B is less effective in large bodies. There are several theories, but none of the studies were designed to test the relationship between weight and effectiveness, which there should be a study, personally, because here in the West, We're bigger. We weigh more. We are bigger. Men are big. Women are bigger. It is what it is. And because this, your health can be affected just by the sheer notion that you not only have to worry about diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, or potentially get heart disease, or even increased risk of cancer, but also you fall in much more worser conditions with that. So let's be fair and honest. The more you weigh, the more you put yourself at risk. So when people talk about this notion of weighing themselves and all this nonsense, and saying that weight is good, I mean, you're delusional. You're very much delusional. But anyway, let's keep going. Some of these theories as to why Plan B is less effective. If you have a larger body size, including those with large bodies have more blood volume, it's possible that the medication is more diluted in a large blood volume, and that is medication does not have a strong effective. More weight may also mean more fat stores. Thus some of the what they call levonorgestrel hormone in Plan B can build up the fat cells that cause a lower dose to get to the intended area of the body. The medication may be broken down in different ways. Those with large bodies may break down Plan B faster or slower, blunt the medication effective. Some experts acknowledge that people with heavier body weight may just need a higher dose of Plan B for it to be more effective. But as mentioned above, this has not been well studied, and we do not know the exact dose that would be needed or it would work. And that's a problem. There should be really look into a lot of things that, especially if you're having these devices that, let's be honest, and let's be fair and honest, and ladies know this. When they take those pills, the birth control pills and the IUD, it does increase, one, the risk of cancer for women. Two, it also puts unnecessary weight in you. Let me repeat that again. It will increase the risk of cancers. And two, it will put unnecessary weight on you. So imagine now we have a weight epidemic here in America. And you're taking these things to suppress and block your natural nature, which is to carry and hold the seeds of a person, of a male. That means this study that and mind you know why America never did the study on this and not going to do the study on this for those that will catch this replay? Is because it makes money. If they put out something like this and put out that the heavier you are, the more risk you are getting pregnant by a man if you're going in it raw dog diggly. And they did studies on this in another country, which is Canada, which is no different from America because they are cousins amongst each other. Different borders, different problems, but same people. So to find that this information was put out that was under our nose is something to really now investigate. And I think they should do more studies on this and draw a real fair conclusion, because let's be fair. I say this again. This might not benefit you gentlemen for this because you put yourself at risk, trying to, have your way with the ladies. But anyway, LN is a single-dose prescription emergency concept that prevents ovulation by acting to your body progesterone receptors chemical binding sites. It prevents your natural progesterone from attaching to those areas and delay ovulation. It works differently than Plan B, but is more effective in large dose. But we all know taking large dose of anything for emergency situation is risky. And LN can also be affected by body weight. And there's more studies, but we're not going too deep details, found that Ellen may be ineffective for those with BMIs at above 35 or roughly above 30 or 35. As mentioned, people with heavy body weight can consider copper IUDs as an effective option for emergency contraception, but a copper IUD does not seem to be affected by body weight. So when the gentlemen been telling the ladies, mostly lovely ladies, about you're too big, it goes much deeper than just the looks. It's everything. There are some difficulties in using Ellen or copper IUD as emergency contraception. One of the main challenges for both of those medications is getting access to them. Ellen may not be readily available at pharmacies. Also, the copper IUD needs to be placed during the short time period following unprotected sex. This may be difficult for some who don't have quick access to a healthcare provider. Always ask healthcare provider, yeah, we know. And there's more, and there's reference. But that's just a little short clip of things for those that watch the stream. Now, to the main topic at hand. Let's look at this video. And really, the topic really is, as you could tell, men cheat, but is it really bad? Really bad at all? I did a few videos on cheating. Now I think about it. And y'all know my views on cheating. I mean, cheating is somewhat of a two-way street, unfortunately, but really, truly, do people really care about cheating? It's always I ask this big question. But you know, let's run this bean footage. Let me find my banners. Let's begin.
Interesting. You said women don't see good men, or no, women don't run from good men because they don't see them until they get their heart broken by the pookies or something. So what do you say?
Yeah. So
now, as you know, these gentlemen are still dealing with the Pookie argument. My views on Pookie. I mean, Pookie is what he is, what he's always been, and what he's ever going to be. Ray, same thing. And it's hard to separate really today the men that's not Pookies and Ray. Unfortunately, it's always a mate guard at the end of the day to get the access to more pussy when it comes to men. I'm just telling and keeping it real. Let's continue. And you see the fair use on this bad boy here.
The sad thing is a lot of women, particularly pretty women who have exposure, who get attention, an excessive amount of attention, starting early, develop this concept that the attention is going to be there forever. And so they're not looking for the man with good qualities. And of course, for the people who are watching, we're not saying all, so we don't have to even have that debate. But for the most part, a lot of women who are pretty, who get that exposure, they're looking for men to satisfy their wants. And so they're not even cultured to see what good men are, because to them, good men are boring. Good men are monotonous. Good men have, they're stable. And a lot of times women want that man who is exciting and dangerous, which is why Pookies and Ray Rays get so much attention, because they ignite that excitement in her. So that's why I put that comment in there, that a lot of women aren't even running from these guys. They're not even giving these guys a chance. They don't even see them until they get their heart broken. And now the good man has to repair damage that the bad man inflicted.
Now, that was interesting. Now, you got to understand. Women in society are not today designed to see anything of good or bad of any nature of man, but really what they can get from man. Personally, and I say this because if you look at the average streets, which most people are out here, and they watch how we interact with the opposite sex, there's always a game and what we can get out of each other, what I need and what I can take from you without giving less. The so-called Pookie and Ray Rays, they will give something, mostly in the form of dick, maybe some attention. And that's it. And don't mind if these same dudes that in the streets that have little money, they will fulfill all obligation. The so-called square or the regular average man, or what they call productive man, he sometimes will give some that, but a little bit more of less, depending if his time is occupied, if he works more, doesn't give that same attention on the average. But at times he might still give the dick when needed. But even that alone, the man's not gonna exude too much energy of giving that dick to that woman, because he's more in the realm of being productive. And that's the thing that separates the Ray Rays, the Pookies, and the regular average modern man. And we have a dilemma because there's a split between us and the ladies. And we bite in fixing for validation for the ladies, especially for the sisters. And we do this willingly. You always hear constantly the dudes are using shaming tactics to the women, telling them that they choose wrong, right or wrong, whatever you want to call it. But really, truly, it's always say that you should have chose me, to keep it fair, honest, personally. And that's something that we don't really keep it honest. And a lot of ladies do not understand this. But we all know that not every woman is going to get or qualify for a man. Even nature doesn't dictate this. So what the brother said on the right, he is surely right. That, they're going to come to the regular modern man to get some fixing or healing of so-called sad, broken heart. But you deliberately made your heart broken from the start. If you don't know what you're getting into. Purpose, at the end of the day, is what you should be seeking. And what your real intention of getting into this. Let the tape run further. And we'll stop for some more commentary.
And that is it. So let me ask you this, because I want to make sure I stay on topic, because it's so much I want to talk about. And I don't know how much if you don't have time at some point, you can always drop down, but I'm gonna cook. Why, in your opinion, do you think men on YouTube, or just period, are not looking at M.A. Udoka in the same light as Nia Long? So when it comes to what happened, it's like, well, Nia Long chose this dude. He's this, he's that. Why didn't he choose she chose a man that's on her level? He wouldn't have had that problem. Because at the end of the day, so I got two questions. One, why is everybody talking mess about Nia Long and not the Udoka guy? And two, do you think if Nia Long would have followed her natural hypergamous nature and actually dated a man that was at her stature? Let's name an actor. Name an actor that Nia Long could get with is at the same stature, and we're gonna just do that.
See,
well, I can't name one because she's already past the stage of any woman at this point of really securing any man of any decent value. I think when she had her first son, I think it was back in late 90s, I believe. And then she had her second son that's 14 now, or probably gonna turn 15. Back in 2007. I can't be right or sure. I had to Google it. But if I Google Nia Long right now, since I'm talking to you, Nia Long. Let's look at her Google. And she's a Scorpion. Where's her Wikipedia? All right. And it says here, Black Cinemas. And her first movie she starred was back at age 21 in 1991, 31 years ago, Boys in the Hood. And she appeared in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air from 1991 to 1995. Friday, 1995, another good movie. And Love Jones in 1997, and so forth as well. As we look down this demographics, she was born in Brooklyn, New York. And her parents were both teachers, look like, from what I'm reading. Her mother's from Trinidad, and her older half sister, a comedian. No, Storm. Someone. So I'm looking. I'm trying to find something, not the career, but something else about her. All right, so she has two sons. One born 22 years ago in 2000 at age 30, and the other one born roughly at age 41. And she has no plans getting married. So that's what the Wikipedia is giving out for her biography of her life. And there's probably more information about her, but that's not the purpose of the stream because I cover enough things. But let's keep going on to the videotape. Oh, one other thing with Nia Long. The reason why she has no desire of getting married is because she's a woman that does not want to be tied down. It is what it is. It's not because the man can make more money than her. And mind, she has entertained men that where she's at that did make more than her anyway, but she just did not seal the deal. But anyway, let's keep going.
I have a different approach. I see that.
Damn, what's Idris Elba? Let's just say that. So let's say
no, that's not gonna happen.
She married Idris Elba. So two questions. One, why is everybody talking about Nia Long and not Ime? And then two, and he is the one who cheated. And two, if she actually married and had children with Idris Elba and he turned around and cheated on her, would we look at Idris Elba and say, bro, what is wrong with you? Or will we still look at Nia Long? So two questions.
So that's a good question. So if it was Idris, of course we would be looking at him because whoever has the most visibility gets talked about the most. In this situation, Nia Long is the person we know, so we talking about her. But Mr. Lego, I got a different perspective, man.
Okay. But you see, you gotta understand, the reason why people talk about her is because look at her and they always ask the question, and this is mostly men ask this question, not the ladies, because ladies don't care. If they get married, good. If they're not, they don't really worry about that shit. A good portion of the ladies is the men always think the back in mind, why should never secure a man in meaning marriage personally? Answer is because she don't want to be married. She has no desire. She don't want to be tied down, locked down. And personally, when I think about Ime Udoka, since they've been talking about this brother now for some time now, I think Nia is in control of the relationship personally. But that's just me. I could be wrong. Let's continue.
So I think that Nia Long got what she qualified for. I know that we look at status, we look at money, we look at prestige, and we like, Nia Long is higher. No, Nia Long got exactly what she qualified for. She was comfortable with that. She stayed for years. And the hard truth is, a lot of times we want to elevate people because we see more in them than they actually are within themselves.
That's it.
And so if she could qualify for better than that, she would have absolutely done that. And so,
but personally, she don't really qualify than what she already attains. And mind you, like most women that is career oriented, like Nia, like I said before, she has no desire of seeking marriage. Now, me saying this personally, a lot of people will give me some pushback that if she was marrying out, maybe this would be a different scenario. And the answer to that is no. If she was married out, it would be the same situation. It's not always money that keeps a lot of these women around these relationships. It's the fact that they can control and be in control of the relationship. Get a woman that if you notice most relationships where the man is very much competent and he's really controlling, you find it as a sign pushback and disdain, hate, because women in the modern era today don't like to be controlled. And this is what made a lot of modern men mad and crazy. And I'm just keeping it real. You might have to play under their terms on the average. And most men, modern or above average men, are not down with playing on women's terms. The only time you find a man that's playing on any woman's term is a real broken man that really truly has nothing tangible, nothing really offer. personally, what he really offers is maybe dick and bubble gum, and maybe he might pay something if he works. But overall, women like to be in the driver's seat and control of a lot of things, and it makes a lot of modern men mad today. But let's continue.
To Neil Long, it's all love. It is all love. So I'm just speaking just facts. This is from a place of love. But if she could, women who have opportunity, women who have exposure and access, they are going to go after the best option for them. If she could have done better, like, see, a lot of people without money look at her because she's cute. We see it from from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know what I mean? She's all of our crushes.
But if me and you were millionaires, we wouldn't choose Neil Long.
Precisely. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying.
Well, we will not choose a certain woman personally, because if we and it's a funny, and I know there were studies done on this, but it's evident once a man obtains more, really more, his options do really open up, especially if he carries himself somewhere he's sociable, he has some charismatic, probably keeps himself up, best as possible. The doors open for a lot of potential women. And here's the trick. If you are married or you're really in a relationship and a woman knows in a relationship, she's going to fight for your attention. And as some of these women that try and push and make alternate content and message to ladies on this to say not to do so or try to do so, but that is the nature of saying if a woman takes on a man and his relationship with him, he has something. And he's doing something right that puts in the back of their mind, say, I want what you got. And I'm willing to fight and take what's yours. Women are always on competition with each other. Don't be fooled, gentlemen. They'll tell you otherwise they don't want to compete with no man. They do. They'll compete with the lowest men and even possibly the highest men if they can get their finger claws on them. Anyway, let's continue.
So a lot of people on the outside who don't have the level of success, they're looking at her because she would be a step up for them. Men who are successful and who could bag 10 Neil Longs don't see her the same way. So Neil Long got exactly what she qualified for.
Okay. So do you think she got exactly what she qualified for because of her age, because of her status, because her sleep with different dudes in the industry? Like, why would you say that about Neil Long?
So it could be a combination of all those things, but there's two irrevocable things. So one is she's got older. Now she's still a beautiful young lady, but
she got with him when she was 37 though.
Yes, and so like I said, she's been blessed. Neil Long still cooking.
So let's look at a 37-year-old Neil Long and not a 51-year-old Neil Long, because people like she's 51. She was 37 when she got with this dude. So a 37-year-old Neil Long, go ahead. I just want you to say 37-year-old Neil Long, where she was when she was 37. Go ahead.
But I mean, successful men, how many of successful men are going after 37-year-old women? Like successful men. It is so, like, to the average person, it's like, man, she cooking.
Well, let's examine this. If the gentleman is late 50s, maybe 60s, they might entertain a woman that's in her 30s. I think Ron Isley, one of the Isley brothers, he's with a woman that's, if my math is right, 30 years his senior. She's 45 and he's 81. So let's be fair and honest. For most women, white, but most we deal with sisters, black women, they're better off just dealing with a man that's maybe 15 to 20 years difference. Especially if a man got some money, resources, he might just give a 35-year-old or maybe 30-year-old a shot, most likely. Now, will that heighten the odds of a lot of women to get a mate that's older, that has, I guess, money or resource? Possibly, but is it really well likely? Depending on the mindset of a lot of men today, and if you look at most men nowadays, they will want, if let's say he has no children, they will entertain a woman that's in her late 20s to have that. But overall, they're not gonna. Nah. If you're in your 30s, mid 30s, most likely them decide to put baby on you can be risky. But can it be done? Maybe. Anyway, let's continue.
To the to men who have more success, 27 is 30 is what we so I think that was the difference. And this is not to say that she didn't have any value, but for a lot of times we like to pair superstar with superstar. That's not the way it works, right? We superstar men still want a woman who can compliment him. Often that woman is younger and doesn't have as many years on her.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, like I said, y'all, we're here to talk about MA, not just Nia Long. So, as far as Nia Long and Emma, this dude, in my opinion, is a weirdo. And he, in my opinion, because you had your opinion, had no business with a woman like this. Sometimes women get treated a certain kind of way, but then you but did you put yourself in that situation? And I don't know. We don't know, but what if it was that situation and she was okay with what he was doing? But because with them two, they barely ever lived together. She lived in LA. He lived in he was a basketball player when they first got together. So basketball players, they travel. So they barely ever really lived together. So your choice of a man that most likely is or has been cheating on you to have a baby with that person is somewhat of an issue. But him never being at home and you never being at home because I'm sure she's still doing her thing in the acting world. We just haven't seen it.
But we're not going to see it because from what I'm hearing, she's in the business of producing movies now. I think one of the movies she helped produce was The Banker that came out 2 years ago, and she's starring in it too. So right now, her mission right now, she's going to start putting out real black positive movies. From what I'm getting at right now, some that was going to make you think, learn, and get a real historical understanding of how we lived as people. The things that is not been taught, the untold truths about history beyond American history. So I think that's what Nia Long is doing right now. And the funny thing with people that's traveling and people that's having these weird relationships that's long distance, it's hard for me to see that really function and really work now. I think you can get away with 30 years ago, maybe, but now you can't get away with it now traveling long distance because y'all can be too far apart. You're not gonna have that same time with one another. I mean, you can have a conversation on the phone, but it's not the same when you're long distance. But like I said, once you're a celebrity actor and your other mate is a athlete, I mean, it's hard for me to see it really work in the long term. But that's just me. That is just me. But let's continue. The fair use is in effect.
Maybe that this is her choice. I want a man that is like this, whether cheating or never home, because I like my freedom. And there's a possibility that she is an avoidant attachment style, and attachment styles mixed with Scorpios. She's a Scorpio also.
She's an October Scorpion, mind you. She's that one with the venom is very poisonous. You ever seen a scorpion with their claws and they nip you and then they take that tail and choke you like so. Take that and infect you to make you bond with you and say, you're mine. And mind you, scorpions are very freaky too. They love screwing. They love the sex. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Don't like control. They don't like to lose their freedom. So they're one way outside of a relationship, but they're another way inside of a relationship. And when they get in a relationship, because like I said, there's a possibility that she had one of the influence, the affluent men that she dated in her past I'm sure one or two of them wanted Nia Long. It was like, yo, I want to be with you. And she ran because she's like, whoa. This is getting too close, too intimate. I like things the way they are. Now you're talking about you want to be with me. And in my opinion, she may have ran to a guy that is controllable. Because when you get with a man, because sometimes women in particular, they have this need to fix men. But when a woman gets with a man that doesn't need fixing, all she can turn around and say is, why don't you need me to fix you? And the dude literally, yo, I'm good. What are you talking about? I don't need you to fix me. And then she runs because she's like, well, there's no reason for me to be here.
So she's a runner. She's a runner. She's a track star. Everywhere she gets in the way now. Yes, that might sound like that might be accurate. Personally, that does sound accurate. But let's go deeper. Did Nia Long suffer some form of trauma before she was an adult? Because to sit there be avoidance and running from relationships, there's something much more deeper than meets the eye, in my opinion. We don't really look at the entrenches why certain women move a certain way in relationships. And this is where the work has to be done, the soul work, the actual healing has to take place. And let's be honest, a lot of us avoid doing the necessary work, what do you call it? Groundworks, the soul work, so what you want to call it, and it's needed just for your better, not only understand, but your better psychological health and development, so you function in the society much better. But nonetheless, let's keep going. Fair use.
Hold on one second. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate you. So does that make sense?
It does.
Because sometimes women enjoy freedom. Women enjoy control over their narrative. And when they get with a man that is at a higher status than her, she gets scared. She gets befuddled. She gets triggered and gets the hell on out of nowhere. So with all that being said, whatever this man was doing, maybe she was okay with it as long as it didn't embarrass her, because she doesn't want to lose her freedom. So when you got a man that is running around,
but it goes to show what is freedom. And let's be honest, gentlemen, if a lady comes front and tells you up front in your face that she enjoys her freedom, her social life, you always got to conclude that she wants to be out here in these streets. The streets. And so the streets have been calling her, so the streets is there where she needs to belong to. Women are the representation of chaos, real chaos. And you, as the male, the man, you must restore the order in which the world you live in today to combat this chaos. Oh, yes. You are that order to restore the chaos, not the lady. You always hear them constantly put out a rhetoric about we're in a state of chaos. This is chaos, chaos this, chaos that, chaos everything, chaos up in the sky, chaos up in the ground. It's because the women are that chaos. And trust me, gentlemen, you do lavish and want that chaos in your life. And the women give it to you night in and night out. Yes, they do. So it's your job. It is your soulful duty to restore the order by any means necessary. And any means necessary, I don't care how you do it. You must restore the order. She brings the chaos. You bring the order. Case closed. Let's continue.
Cheating on you, and you as a woman is probably okay with him cheating on you.
Yes.
And he is somewhat of the type of person that isn't on your level, well, he may overdo it and turn into this weirdo that Udoka is. So what are your thoughts on that?
So, so were they married or were they just in a relationship?
In a relationship.
No, they were engaged 7 years ago, but she didn't go through with engagement because she values freedom more than anything else. Unfortunately, that answers your question, sir.
So he didn't cheat on her.
Okay, I agree and I disagree. I understand where you're going. I understand where you're going at.
Now, I'm not sure if we could agree or disagree on that. If they're in a long-term relationship, which they are, and maybe they still are, you could look at it as a form of actually he has cheated because he never disclosed his long-term intentions with one set Nia Long. Nia. And let's be honest. Most athletes today, ladies, are going to have a plethora of women. And I mean, not just little women. They're going to have a lot of women in their disposal. You hear the constant basketball stories of a lot of prominent, promising NBA players. They tell you stories that even LeBron, as good as he is, he cannot avoid and get a taste of these women. But you're never going to know if he has a scandal. And really, you should not really care because he is a productive, well-productive black man that has accumulated in the billions now. The first one in the NBA. Very few NBA players are able to reach this plateau because the work he put not only himself but with his team to achieve this plateau. My biggest concern is once he's retired, what's going to happen to him after? It should be the biggest question. We all see what happened to Kobe. Yeah, say more? Let's continue. Fair use.
He still had a family though. Kids, because you got to think about, okay, so break that down. He still didn't cheat on her. I understand what you're saying, but I want the audience to hear what you about to say.
Yeah, so he didn't cheat. As crazy as it may sound, ladies, if you want to avoid this, do not spend years of your life in a relationship with a man who ain't gonna put a ring on it. And
he put a ring on it though.
Well, he didn't commit to the ring he put on it, right? So, like I tell women this all the time.
No, she didn't go through because she did not want or desire to be married. It is what it is. Let's continue. Fair use.
If your body, your womb, and that thing shouldn't be given away for free. So don't let a man put you on layaway and have you reserved, and he hasn't made that commitment to you. So he didn't cheat on her, but she did waste time. I also want to go back to something you said before as well, that he did what he was supposed to do. He went and shopped and he went for a woman that was of a higher caliber. He did what every man is supposed to do. Go get the best. What she was supposed to do, though, was see what he was about and determine whether or not he could help elevate her life. So he did what he was supposed to do. But Nia Long, it looks like it's a classic case of she led with her heart and didn't lead with logic. And now she's in this circumstance.
Okay. So we're going to talk about this avoidant nature, and then we're going to talk about Udoka cheating. So watch this video.
And anxiety and chaos differently.
Wait, before we go in the video, make sure you guys like the stream, hit the like button, share the stream, like always. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And for those that will be, new to the channel, you know the deal. Hit that red button underneath, bottom of this, your phone, wherever, and hit the top notification bell for uploads and live streams here on the Chaos Rain channel. All right. let's continue. Where was I? Oh, yes.
Navigate stress and anxiety and chaos differently from this person. So for instance, you have an anxious and an avoidant. You have an avoidant in conflict that's overwhelmed. This is too much. I don't like the way this feels.
I'm out of here.
Now I have these overwhelming emotions, and my strategy is a preemptive strategy. So I'm going to run.
Back it up a little bit.
I'm out of here.
Now I have these overwhelming emotions, and my strategy is a preemptive strategy. So I'm going to run. And then you have the anxious person. Now you have shaken up their nervous system. And they're
Now
like,
I'm
wait,
twinking.
my strategy is hyperactivation. So now I'm like, what did I do? Wait, I got to fix this. I need stability. That happens. So you have one who runs, you have one who tries to fix it, and they have already communicated poorly there because they have two different languages. So it's important that you understand the attachment. Go all the way back to your childhood to get an understanding. I know that this triggers your nervous system. So if I do this in conflict, this is not going to work for you.
Keyword.
You always hear that they always talk about this chaos. I tell you, you are the order. You restore the order, they bring the chaos. No in between. I'm just checking my phone now. And a lot of men, you got to understand that women seek order. They want order. You always hear them out their goddamn mouths. Time I say that men run and rule things. So you're going to have to bring the order one way or the other, since that's what they're seeking and a leering on. Now, you got to understand, men or gentlemen, you're not going to save every woman. And you're not in business to do so. But those that have the potential that they seek it and want some better and are looking and seeking men, it is your rightful duty to deal with those women personally. I don't speak for the ones that don't really care or they want to use men or that don't like men at all. Those women you leave alone. Matter of fact, let them wither like the dodo birds. Go beyond the skies. Go fly away. Woo, woo, woo. I'm saying, shush, shush, all that stuff. Anyway, let's keep going.
Word conflict, but I want to shout out to tonight's conversation. Shout out to my guy Ace. We about to do another season in about a few weeks. Not following tonight's conversation to YouTube is tonight's conversation. Show that I am a part of. Shout out to Ace. And make sure you're following him because his content is super dope. So what are your thoughts on what she said?
I think that's spot on. If that was good. So you do have to go back and deal with the stuff in your childhood because it does play out as you get older.
Yes.
So that was spot on. Spot on.
Yeah. And just for the record, I need y'all to start contributing to the channel via Cash App. What's up, Stan? So we need to put some color in this chat. And the way you put color in this chat, comment will light up. And guess what? I will read it. Because a lot of you guys who are hold
on, guys. As it goes through this, make sure you guys like the stream. I see someone new. Hello, Miss Anisha the Queen. Welcome to the channel. I hope you subscribe to the channel, Anisha. There's some content on here that you might like or might hate. I mean, subscribe to the channel. You know, there's always something for something.
Choices, because I wanted to talk about. Okay, Sir Hale speaks. All right, with a $49 super chat. All right, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, you know, I got you, my brother.
All right. So follow suit, y'all. Let's get it. So,
okay, you pronounce Onisha some. Okay.
People on YouTube are talking about Nia Long and not M.A. Udoka because it's some type of whose man's is this type of thing.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Sir Hale, if I say you have a yacht party or whatever, right? and I go out on your yacht party, and I got some weirdo dude with me that's acting weird, got tattoos on him, all on his face, and he punches somebody in the face and knocks somebody in the water. They're going to apprehend him, arrest him. But are you going to be more mad at him, or are you going to be more mad at me for bringing him?
We're going to have a discussion. We're going to chop
you and me, right?
Absolutely.
Not you and him, right?
I don't even want to talk to him.
Because you like, whose man's is this?
Now, it's going to get to another direction with this. For a pause, for those that's listening. You're right. Cheating is overrated. And here's the funny thing about it. I like your comment. And the reason why it's overrated because it's really focused on the male that cheats, mostly, predominantly, from what they said. I remember a content creator did content on this and did a percentage of what's the average rate of males from what they call racial gender that cheats. They said in America that more black men cheat in America than anything else, but I look at that as cheating as a byproduct of this so-called social order and how boys have been socialized, and to look and view things as pretty much objects and looking at just get a quick nut, which if you notice, Mr. Queen, that these boys are having sex and they're screwing very young, as young as probably before 13. Now I think there was one point that usually when they're teenagers, they will start experiencing some sexual a sexual experience, but it's now younger now in this modern era. The point is this, that is always when people talk about cheating, they always focus like it's just a male thing. Yes, ladies cheat as well, and sisters cheat just as much, and it's up there just like the men. The only problem why cheating is really overrated because people do not care. Personally, they don't care. That's why I do it. And they do it because, let's be honest, if I could have my cake and eat it too, just like ladies, if she could have her cake and eat it too, they would do so and still have the relationship and still keep the relationship. They will do it in a heartbeat. And trust me, they will still do it. They will hide the infidelities into their graves, most likely. And that's an excellent comment. Let me pin that right there. Wait, this right here. It's bad when people aren't caring about sexual health. And you know why that is step into the life? Is because people rather get a short-term release and continue to get that release to relieve the tension or pressure that they experience in their own lives. Sex is a drug. Step in my life is a deadly drug. That's why there are a few things humans consume the most: drugs, alcohol, and engage in sex. And if you take away one and maybe two of the components, what else do you think people are going to digest and try to cover up for their own problems psychologically? They're going to fall back on something to mend the pain that they suffer. So, yeah, it is sexually unhealthy. If you notice now what the unhealthy of sex now today is, there's an increase of hepatitis. There's things they call now the pox. We all know the pox is more of a homosexual disease now. And there are things that personally, the disease that you see people that is hard for them to get rid of can be scary, but that all results in being over-sexualized, engaged in too much sex and incorrect sex, might I add. So before I continue, let me keep playing. I'm gonna read the rest of the comments. All right.
Who brought him around us? So can't be in the room. And that is Ime Udoka. Who is this weirdo? Why is he with you? Neil Long. So when you look at a situation, that is the reason why we're looking at Neil Long, because this guy is like a bum compared to you. A lot of y'all ladies watching would love to be with a basketball player, but remember, he wasn't a coach when they got together when she was 37. He was like 32 and she was 37 or 38. And he was a scrub when he was a basketball player. He wasn't making a lot of money when he was a basketball player. So imagine somebody that makes about $200,000 a year getting in a relationship with a woman that is worth $16 million. The math just ain't mathing. So when he does do some dumb shit, everybody expected him to do some dumb shit.
Well, it goes to show you about this hypergamy nonsense that people been talking about. It is, and I have to agree with MOT, it is regulated by the state, by the government, this pergamy nonsense. Here's why. Let's say you make more money than your man. The only thing that you look in your future, depending on your circles, is either you're going to find a mate that's either the same playing field as you, economic status, or you're going to deal with a man reasonably that's probably a little lesser, maybe by the less wherever your natural income you make. And personally, in the early parts of the stream, if a man makes a whole lot of money and is really up there, he's not going to be in the business to be searched for women that's, unless she's there during the journey, to be shacking up, even wifing up a woman of his same age, or maybe he's like a few years older. He's going to deal with the young women, especially if he has no kids. He's going to deal with younger women. Or if he's like really older gentleman and he already has kids, he will deal with a woman that's in deal with a woman that's around the 30-ish range or 40-ish range. Because usually at the age, he's not really focused on having more kids if he already has kids. And an older one would probably make sense. Because it would make no sense a man that got resource like that to really deal with young women and know he's not gonna have no kid with her. I mean, it's nonsense. It's backwardsness. So what Mr. Lecko been saying about, look at this clown. This clown is this woman's boyfriend, and she don't find nothing problematic with Emi Udoka. And here's why: because if she did find a problem with the brother or this mixed brother, because Emi Udoka is a mixed person, he is descendant of Nigerian and white offspring, because father was black, is white. He's that gentleman that Nia Long liked sexually. She know this man is just a scrub basketball player that is a bench player at best. Most likely he's like an under C+ player at best. So she deals with him because he's a man that she wants to control and, let's be honest, take advantage. It is what it is. Let me read these comments. The statistics say black men, BC, many black men just don't be honest with their partners versus other race of men. I mean, yeah, but other race of men are not going to tell their own woman that I got another woman on the side. Let's keep real. If we're going to go by the statistics, we got to be honest up front that no man's going to be upfront with his potential mate and let her know in her dead eyes that, baby, we're going somewhere with this relationship. But to move forward, I like to entertain a few women on the side. You're cool with that? Most men, modern men, whether black, white, Asian, whatever, are not going to keep it real with their mates like that. We like the thrill of having the relationship and still having the woman on the side. And the woman on the side is aware that you are in a relationship. That's the vision and really the mindset or what the intentions of the average man today. I got Alan Roger Curry's books. And one thing is proven about this brother, he at least he's real about his message. And mind you, he get a lot of slack and a lot of space through social media and YouTube because of his approach of mode one, upfront, honest. And I'm not a promoter per se, but I do respect his content because I watch him closely for a man as older gentleman that he knows how to move in these streets. He's experienced. And he'll tell you up front that he has gotten more play being upfront honest than anything else. Now, people say maybe because he looks a certain way that he got like that, which is true. But it's much deeper. You cut out a lot of bullshit being upfront honest with the women you're dealing with than sitting there trying to play the fence. Let's see what other comments on here. I'm gonna read some more comments. All right, sex is naturally a natural thing. It just has to be done righteously, but many don't believe in doing it correctly. Correct. Let's continue, guys, because I don't want to be doing this tape for a long time.
Because you did not date or get into a relationship hypergamously. What can this man teach you if he is not above you in some type of status realm? The man is a leader, but when you get with a woman that's worth $16 million and you only make $200,000 a year, and then I heard he moved in with her when they actually did live together, and then he had to leave because of, basketball this, basketball that. So you got a man that is living in your house instead of him living in your house. And you wonder why, because it happens almost every time, y'all. You get with a man and he is so much lower than you where he has to live in your house instead of you living in his house. It's almost a guarantee this ain't going to end well because you're not dating hypergamously. It's just not the natural order of things. And he's 5 years younger than you. So that is the thing that is the reason why most of people on YouTube or whatever is looking at, why are y'all talking about Nia Long? So now let's talk about the cheating part.
Now, before we get to the cheating part, I like everybody that's watching right now. Make sure you hit the like button. This is my little so-called reactions to certain content. Focus on cheating. Men cheat, but is it really bad? I've done few videos or streams on cheating personally, and it's gonna come to a point I'm gonna have to put them on the playlist once I get a certain amount of them on my belt. Personally, if a man is making that much money and he moves in with her, it tells me this man personally could be one of them homosexuals. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know what Imadoka is thinking, but like I said, there's something must be of worth value. He decided to make that move as a man. Remember, if you look at how they started their relationship, regardless of what he makes, there's something that is in him that Nia Long is attracted and like, that she bonded with him, stayed with him, and even had his kid for this long. To the point now, I'm not sure if both of them are going to be separated now. I don't know. I heard rumors about they might be separating, but we don't know. Because she's a woman that saw some value into this man. Now, did she get really a return in her investment? Most likely, I don't think so, personally. I mean, because let's be honest. If a man has a sexual appetite and loves to bang random women, and I mean random women, not just black women, but other racial groups of women, is it really a man that you really want to trust? And not only that, I heard the woman that some of them he possibly knocked up, and the one that he was having intercourse with wanted this woman to leave her husband to be with him. Now, if that is not no simp, I don't know what is. I just don't know. But this is what I'm hearing. But anyway, let me look at your comments. Can I see some more comments? I remember DOD's in the house. What's good, DOD? DOD. Let's say, dude. All right, here's this one. All Arabs, Asians, etc. do tell them, so they're considered not cheating. That's interesting. That's very interesting. And Anisha, the queen, if you could leave a comment of any videos you could find more of this, please leave a comment at the end of this video so that I could probably drop my email. If you know any videos out there, I like to look at them. All right. It's mostly their culture, okay? Yep. There are men who do, and I respect their honesty, okay? But I asked who this guy is. What's going on, Mel? All right. Okay. This dude is annoying to me. I've seen him get reduced to a childlike state. Oh, yeah. All right, let's continue. Various in effect.
why is it so normalized for men to cheat and for us to just say, hey, what's wrong with that? Like, whatever. Why is it so dismissive when a man cheats? Because at the end of the day, Ema cheated, not Nia. Because if Nia
Not we know of, but let's continue.
cheated, it would have been different. But why is everybody mad, well, not mad at him? Just as a cheater.
I don't believe he cheated. So just I want to put that out there. But
Right.
again, I think this is everybody.
Well, his way of doing things was still wrong.
Yeah,
So
I
whether
can
he
agree
was
with that.
married, whether he was not married, him sleeping with all these people, allegedly getting people pregnant and stuff, like this dude did some weirdo stuff. So cheating, however you want to look at it, cheating on the wife. I think Neo,
Gotcha. Yeah.
not Neo,
Well, they're not married, so I agree with Mr. Speaks.
but Neo, he was cheating on his wife, allegedly.
No, Neo is a sexual deviant. I think Neo is the epitome of narcissism for a reason, you know. He likes to get women comfortable, lock them down, put a baby in, so that way he can still get access to the box. Or the Vox, they call it nowadays. Y'all familiar with the word Vox? That's that new political term. They are comfortable with that. Oh, another thing, for those that's new or watching, please subscribe to the channel, please. If you so kindly, make sure you hit the top notification bell where there's uploads and live streams here on the Chaos Rain channel. Also, if you want, you can share this video if you want. It's up to you. Let's continue.
And he turned around and did all this other stuff. And they had to split up. And then when she came out and said, hey, this man did this, did that, they started getting mad at her. Why is you telling your business? Nobody has smoke for Neo, but they got smoke for Nia. Neo cheated. Neo was married. Why ain't nobody said something about Neo? Neo's wife dated hypergamously, but still nobody talked about Neo. But go ahead.
Yeah, the more status and more money a man has, the more acceptable it is for cheating. So in Neo's case, him cheating, he absolutely did. And if you got a woman in your life and you're married to her, you owe it to her to be a decent man, right? Now, of course, in Hollywood, you guys have your own agreements, but what he did was cheating. But with Ime, he didn't cheat at all. What he was, though, is he was sexually reckless, and all the things that he did, to me, made not only the people connected to him look bad, but men look bad, because it perpetuates this idea that we are not faithful, that we're just these sexualized creatures, and that we don't have any control. So
Yeah.
that to me is the true part. But as it pertains to Neil Long, I can't say that he cheated.
So,
All right. Let me check the chat room for a second, guys. Like I said, I seen Beacon Spice. I see you. Who else up here? That's messed up. Yep, it is. DOD still here. I never studied Neo. Yeah, Neo is a very unusual person. He's a good artist, but in regards to how he carries himself in his life outside the music, it's very messy. Very messy. All right. Denise Parker writes, Neil Long's significant other has to be a beta male. I think she ran the relationship. She's older and more established. The cheating is to embarrass her, take her down a peg. You know what, Denise, you might have a point. And I will have to agree wholeheartedly, because let's be honest, which woman today said they don't want no beta male, but behind doors, they're entertaining beta males. You have to make a decision. Now, can we be honest and say, can Nia Long possibly do better? By the way, how she carries her life, personally, I don't see it possible. Because, like always, she wants to be a free spirit woman. So women as free spirit, on the average, you know, their opposite is a beta male, most likely. Now, that's harsh, but That's what I'm noticing and what I'm witnessing. You see your favorite content creators have entertained, unfortunately, so-called lesser men and had pregnancies. I mean, it is what it is. Let's continue. Face.
I think what needs to happen, and I want to spearhead this, something that Kevin Samuels kind of like did inadvertently with the high value man stuff, where just like what you just said, men of a certain stature are expected to cheat. I don't agree with that, but I get what you're saying because I do understand that. I don't agree with it, but I do understand that.
And men that are not at high statures are cheating as well. So what is the point of it? There's an analogy for this. When there's more hens than roosters, cheating is inevitable. Let me repeat this again. When there are really more hens than roosters, cheating is inevitable because in nature, women that know that they're the majority and there's very small of the males, they're going to do things to entice that male for the axis of procreation. We as humans operate even in that fashion today. The possibility and access to potentially procreate. We are replicating beings that do seek to replicate oneself. Yes. Yes, indeed. All right, I'm going to read our comment in a second, but let me keep playing this because I want to get through this tape.
Talking about Kevin Samuels and all that stuff. When somebody says men should be able to cheat who got money, well, it trickles down to everybody should be able to cheat and it's acceptable. So just like you said, when a man is at a certain stature, if he cheats, who cares? Or something, however you said it. I don't want to, mess up your words. But it trickles down to the dudes at the bottom also. So it makes every man, whether high value man, rich or whatever, think that it's okay to cheat. So not just talk about Neo and not just talking about Kevin Samuels, but what you said was if a man is at a certain stature, and what Kevin Samuels used to say, if a man is at a certain stature, he should be expected to cheat. But it trickles down to all men, and all men who ain't got no money think they can cheat. And they're like, well, so-and-so said this. Well, so-and-so did this. So I want to actually spearhead the conversation on YouTube, all over the place, that it's not okay to cheat, whether you're in a relationship or whether you're in a marriage. Because if you just look at people in a relationship, that is a prerequisite to marriage. Not with Nia, because I don't know if they got engaged.
Well, we want to believe that in a perfect world, but most relationships that started are just relationships. There's no really context or really end game of what we're doing in regards to relationships now. Now, I know marriage today, even talking about marriage on my channel, which is we should advocate and do more as people. I'm not the one that's saying I focus on marriage more on my channel per se, but I do see significance and importance that we should be married if we're doing anything like this. But for the purpose and more of a bigger point is this, that most relationships we get into is always something that is always a short-term thing. There was not something long till we think about what we want out of each other. Personally. But anyway, let me refresh my page because something happened. All right, so let me go through the comment section. I think some of the comments was removed, but it says here. No, that's what she chose to have, correct? Many women who have a lot of money choose beta males because they use not to having an alpha male that will respect her but run the household no matter how famous or rich she is. Okay, and you agree with what I said earlier? That's why polygamy should be held up more, because it is more men than women. And because God made men the way, greedy and never self-satisfied with just one. Yeah. Next one. This is why polygamy is more, because it's more women than men and greedy. And always wanted more than just one. Okay. So let's keep going with this beam footage. Oh, it's fairly to effect. And if y'all want me to open this up, say yes in the chat room if you want me to open the stream for people to come up.
I don't know how that works, but usually when your relationship is going to go in a direction to marriage, usually. So when you're going in a certain direction and you cheat, it may not be as bad because y'all aren't married, but in my opinion, it's still cheating because you're doing something that is betraying the other person. So in the respect of betrayal, because I know you said single people aren't cheating on each other, the betrayal of another person. Why is it that when a man betrays or cheats on his woman, it is okay?
I don't believe that it is. Okay. I think that
I mean, whether we believe it or not, is something that we as society, we accept cheating on both sides. You always hear the excuse when women cheat, they'll always blame the man and say, you must do something wrong, make her step out, all this excuse. And I'm thinking, wait. If you decide to go out and cheat, right, personally, that's a conscious decision. No one's shooting you in the foot or putting you in a position to say go cheat on your man. If you feel that your respect goes much further and you don't like it if your man cheat and he's not being upfront honest and he does it, it is in your rightful duty, ladies, is to walk away. Walking away is better than anything else. Instead of being miserable and going around and doing the tick-a-tack, because it doesn't go well in your favor. I know some women say they want to do it. And if you have the proclivity to do that, that tells me you already are going outside the marriage anyway, or outside the relationship anyway. So it's better off you find out and you walk out and move on with your life than stay around, personally. Because you should not be tick-a-tack with a man when it comes to the cheating aspect. But that's what I'm just saying. Let's continue. Fair use.
And so, like I said, I don't agree with cheating as well. So let me put that out there. So anybody who's listening, Sir Hell ain't saying, if you're single, no, that's what I'm saying. So what I am saying,
we got young boys, young men, or men our age or whatever, looking at us being like, oh yeah, it's okay to cheat because Miss Lex Go said, because Sir Hell said, because Kevin Samuel said, because didn't nobody say nothing about Neo when he did it, but or nobody's talking about Ime Udoka. So apparently it's okay. They're getting all these confirmations from different places that it's not frowned upon out in our community when we cheat. Go ahead.
I do some better, Mr. Leko. When another man hears that another man cheat and they give excuse, let's be fair and honest. They probably are cheating already and they have not got caught. Let's keep it real. And if they do get caught, there might be some consequences, especially if the man is married or he has kids with the woman that are they not married. She either is going to leave his ass or going to go around, turn around and cheat on him with another man. It's one way or the other. Now, I'll say this. It's not really cool if you're going to be lying about your movements outside the relationship. And how I look at how people are engaged in so-called activities, sexual activities with other people while in a relationship, it is risky now. Besides the STDs and disease, but it's very risky out here you playing with other people's emotions if you out here as do, because let's be honest, good majority of women don't want to be deceived in anything, especially a relationship, especially if they're not knowing where this is going. Now, you hear the story of sugar babies, people. And see, sugar babies don't have the entitlement worrying about a man cheating because they're playing a side role, the side piece. That's their position. they're hoping that they will get in a higher position to be the main woman, which they don't. So there are levels and stages of how a woman's going to take it with a man. What's good, Marvel? 318. So personally, cheating really. Make sure you guys hit the like button too. Cheating, it does go both ways, and a lot of dudes find nothing wrong with it because they are either one thing engaged in it and they're not getting caught, or they have gotten caught and are hoping that they go in the next relationship and hope they don't get caught again. Because let's be honest, gentlemen, we're not gonna be upfront, honest, tell a woman that we want more than one woman. If every man was mode one and keeping it real with the ladies they deal with, in my opinion, there will not be no relationships here in America. And it's going to go beyond transactional relationships. So keep that in mind. Let's continue fair use. And for those that's watching or either new to the channel, please, or going to be new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, subscribe. Hit the top notification bell. I'd like to jump the subscribership on this channel as best as possible, and I could do it with your help. Let's continue. Fair use.
Yeah, so what I'm an advocate for, and this is me being married since I was 19 years old. So I got 15 years in the game.
So damn, if he's been married at 19 and putting 15 years, you could do the math how old Sir Hale is. He is roughly born in 1987, making him roughly 35 years of age. I'm just saying. Well, let's continue. Fair use.
It took me 3 months to know that I was going to marry the woman that I married. 3 months proposed. We were married for 15 years. The reason why I'm saying it's not cheating is because we should be promoting. If you want marriage, do not wait 10 years to get it. Like, don't wait 5 years to get it. Matter of fact, don't wait 2 years to get it.
I agree.
Men and women should be at the place where they are sure about themselves and what they want. And a woman has to know she wants to be a wife, not that she just wants to be married. And then put yourself in a position to be chosen by a man who can provide a life that you can nest in and be the kind of wife you want to. And that doesn't take 3 and 4 and 5 years. So I'm promoting marriage. And so I'm saying, if you don't want these problems, then you have to have the standard. You shouldn't be giving up. You shouldn't be giving up the magic until you know that there's going to be some.
Now, you know, that was cheesy as hell. That when the woman's screaming, they go, and then a wonder of an opening of the rainbow flies out her vagina. That was very cheesy. I had to say so myself.
Long-term commitment, and you are not giving away your womb for free. So that's what I'm saying.
Now, one thing I will have to disagree. It should be as long as it takes, depending on the age of your mate or your potential future mate. If she's in her 20s, no greater than 2 years at best. If she's in her 30s, you should not waste no more than 1 year, depending on what age she is in her 30s. And after the age of 35, you can wing it. You can wing it. And I mean wing it that if you're not being transparent up front, that she's seeking to really have a baby with you and really settle down, and you're not giving confirmation, chances are she's gonna put a baby on you, bro. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. She's gonna create that oops, oops, baby. She's gonna do it. Don't play. If you're 5 or 10 or maybe 15 years or greater older than your future wife or whoever you're dealing with, and she has no kids and she's touching that 30-ish, 35-ish range, she's gonna put a baby on you. You've been warned. So like I said, recap. She in her 20s, no greater than 2 years. In her 30s, less than a year. Over 35, you could probably risk it as longer as it takes. You could vary how long you want to decide. But know and be sure, once she is 35 and you're a certain age, the clock is ticking. That what do you call it? That biological clock is ticking. Tick tock, 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 tick tock. You feel me? All right, Face.
So I get what you're saying, but what about the cheating stuff? Why is it so okay for any man to cheat on his lady, whether they're married or not? That's the main question. That's the thing. I understand that. But why in our community is it okay? Because like I said, they heard it from Kevin. They heard it from this. They hear it from you. They hear it from somebody else, where it's some type of innuendo of, if you're this or if you're that. They don't hear that if you're this or you got my amount of money. All they hear is it's acceptable for men to cheat. What about that part?
You see, I don't know any place where it's acceptable. I think,
Bruh.
no, just hear what I'm saying. So think about this. So if a man cheats, it's his fault. If a woman cheats, it's his fault. That's the way society is set up. So when a man does something, I think that even though we tolerate it, we're not saying that it's right. This is where you get the whole term Pookie and Ray Rays and men are dogs, all men cheat, right? You get this from that concept because it's not okay. I think that we've just become used to it, right? And we expect certain men of a certain caliber to do that. But I don't think in any particular place that it's okay in society.
I think it is. I think put a 1 in the chat if you think men cheating is normalized in our society. Put a 1 in the chat if.
Now, as y'all know, I forgot what the conversation was, but for most people, to some people they think it is normalized. I think society makes norms for a greater situation. Oh, one person said 1. Okay. Yes. All right.
Is normalized, but but I'm saying it's okay. I don't think that is.
Okay, why is it so normalized then? So I use this wrong wording.
Yeah, because I think, like I said, the more money you get, the more stuff you get, the more cars you get.
But these other dudes ain't got no money and they cheating, and that's what I'm saying.
I disagree. I think a lot of men want to cheat, but cheating is a combination of opportunity and access. And most people don't have both of those at the same time. Some people have the opportunity, but they don't have the access to what they want. This is why you got, I want to say there's a stat out in terms of how many men are actually having sex. It's not as much as we think. So there's a demographic of men who's getting that. But cheating, even though it's normal, it's normalized, it's not okay. And a lot of men are not cheaters. They don't have the opportunity to be.
Now, let's rewind this. Yes, there is a data statistic right now showing that a lot of Americans, Western men like to call it, are not getting much. And I think this is more in line with the modern man, the man that works the 9 to 5, doing what he has to do, etc. If you think about people in the chat room or people that's watched it from the clouds, that if you're not prioritizing socializing with people and shooting your shot, or what they want to call or label mouthpiece, the odds and chances of you getting some box or vox can be very slim. Women are not just going to come from the sky, gentlemen, and give you some vagina, some pussy, some box. No, they're not going to do that. No. You got to hunt. You must initiate. You must seek, and they will reciprocate. Yeah, you're right. Miss Odivon Wiener. I think I say name right. It turns into a joke like it's expected. Correct. So, in my conclusion, I think the more of the 20% or less 20% men are the ones that's getting the sex. And you hear the complaint on a lot of brothers on social media and on YouTube that these women are giving the wombs in the best of the years to, I guess, Pookies and Ray Rays. But what's Pookie and Ray doing different than what you're doing? He's up there shooting his shot, regardless if he had money or not. And he's getting turned down and he's getting access at the same time because he's not afraid by default of rejection. Let me repeat this again. The so-called Pookies and Ray Rays that most dudes talk about, they are not afraid of rejection. Modern men and possibly above average men, depending how socialized or how he is mentally and how he is sociable, fear and hate rejection. They're more inclined that once they got the money, that wallet has to come out the back of their pocket and present to women, and here, give me something. And in return, you must give me something. And that's where you get really played the most, if you want to be real, gentlemen. But what I know. Anyway, fair use and effect.
So they had an opportunity to, because I disagree with you on that. In 2022, and I may be wrong because I may be speaking for a demographic of men that aren't where I am or whatever, so I may be wrong, but I think any man can cheat, because if you look at the Pookies and Ray Rays, they ain't got no job, they ain't got no car, they live with their mama, they getting all kinds of ass. So I think the broke men are actually getting more ass than the men that have money, because one, we have a name to protect. One, we have a certain amount of status where we value our dicks more than a Pookie does. And because of that, we turn women down. So we may actually sleep with less women, while Pookie and Ray Ray are sleeping with more women. What are your thoughts on that?
I do something better, Mr. Let Go. If a man that has more, and I'm going to keep it real, and this is going to be controversial, I might get pushed back for this. If a man got the money like that, he, by default, has the great opportunity to cheat. And trust me, we've seen too many people that got money that they want to broadcast have cheated. But here's the problem. Once you're in a certain social economic status, if you commit infidelity, and I mean infidelity loosely, you have peers and other people that have precautions and steps to not only protect your name, but they will banish you depending how deep the infidelity is, especially if you are fucking somebody else's wife. And yes, I use the word fuck. And the consequence of fucking somebody else's wife, they might have to take your wife and fuck. And that's what's normally done in other cultures that we are not allured to. So you might not hear it in the 6 o'clock news or hear some semblance of a man going behind the backs and are commit infidelity with their wives, because you hear the notion that they will go out of town and blow another woman's back out and then come back home and kiss you like it's nothing. And depending if his wife is a stay-at-home wife, obviously, and I mean obviously, she's getting her back blown out as well. Especially if you got more money, you don't have time to worry about if your wife is screwing behind your back. You're doing some screwing, and she probably getting some screwing as well. How I know? Because you fake people that got resource, like real resource, are gonna waste time know what their mate's doing. Those people that don't have nothing productive with their lives. Not us, because we bring out the news on this when we find this, but really truly, people that's in these relationships that got some, they do got some to lose, but it depends. Because if you are cheating, she's cheating too. Cheating does go both ways. And I say this with clear convictions. Why I say is because women are the chaos. And a lot of them can't sit by their ass and their lonesome self without needing some attention. And with the help and design of the internet with social media, she's getting all the attention she needs. Yeah, I say more. Let us continue. Fair use in effect.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time? I want to make sure I understood.
Okay. In my opinion, and I may be speaking for a demographic of men that I am out of touch with, but I think, because this is just the way I see it, because I may be wrong, men who don't have any money get more ass than men who do have money, due to the fact that the men that do have money, whether single or cheating on their wife or whatever, or single, they have more to lose. Therefore, they value their dicks more, so they don't sleep with.
And see, Anisha, the queen, I like you. I like your comment, right? You just said. I agree with you. The most of the time, if a woman knows her man cheats regularly, she will cheat on him as well. Facts. Yeah. Facts. Big facts.
Sleep around as much as a Pookie or Ray would, because like I said, as a broke dude, those are the men that a lot of women, especially with certain attachment styles and childhood traumas, those are the men that they actually can fix. So a lot of these women are looking for men that they can fix. So they'll give Pookie and Ray ass way more often and give Pookie and Ray all kinds of access to their bodies, to their time. Because one, a lot of these avoidant attachment style women don't want to lose control. They like being in a controlled environment. So they would get with a Pookie and Ray knowing he doesn't have enough money or enough this or enough that, and he's broke. So he's actually getting more ass and more access to women than we are because of who we are versus who they are.
So what you just said takes me back to my original point that a lot of these women can't see good men, and this is why I said this.
I get it, but no, let's stay on the top. I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm going to circle it back. Yeah.
Okay, because it goes against what you said. Just
yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Women do like to deal with men that they control. It is an actual fact, and much times I don't want to say that, but it is a fact. 1 second. Let me do this, guys. I'm back. I'm checking how much time left on this. I'm probably gonna do like another 10 minutes of this because this is lengthy, and I'm not gonna cover all this. So let me keep going.
Said like the dudes who ain't got no money ain't getting no ass. I think the dudes who ain't got no money are getting more ass. But go ahead.
Yeah, see that's why I disagree. Is there's something that women want, and if she's at the phase of her life where she got her own money, she don't need you to pay no bills, she got her own car, well, she don't need the quote unquote good man. She needs the man. She needs the man with the meat, right? So there's a couple of songs, in pop culture, right, where that it pretty much expresses that I want that meat, and so that's why I said if a woman's at that phase. And Pookie and Ray, she don't need him to pay bills. She got that covered. What she needs is somebody to take care of those sexual needs. And so a lot of women, depending on what age and stage they're in, will get what they want until they mature or they get out of that phase and they want something more stable.
Mm-hmm. And when they actually mature, they can't get the type of man that they actually want, or they're so emotionally traumatized by the other men where they're afraid of a man that they actually want. So let me read this. Let me read these cash apps.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair and honest. A lot of women don't really need men for certain things, besides dick. And if they got money, even better. Because let's be honest, in this society, we are in an even playing field where men and women are considered equal in this society. Women have able to make their own money now for the past 50 some years. And with this, it's going to create more miserable women in the long run, but it's expected because society, in my opinion, how society is run now, people, is they really want to create more buffer class and slaves, personally. But
thank you for the cash app. So
let me look at some comments. Right, Denise, Miss Parker. I don't want a man I can control. I want a man that can control himself. I mean, it's even better if you can find a man like that. It can be challenging, but it can be done, Miss Parker. Let's continue, fair use.
My whole point is this. One, I don't want us running around accepting or making it seem like cheating is acceptable and it's okay. Because the reason why, because it goes so deep to men cheating. When we look at the state of these women, and their attachment styles, you know, just like the young lady said in the video, they'll run whenever they see there's an issue. They'll run when they see that there's not an issue, when a man actually wants to love them. Like, you know, and then another woman who may have an anxious attachment style, she's, oh, let me fix you. And he turns around, does some crazy shit, and she gets closer to him, like a gnat, not a gnat, a moth to a flame type of thing. The worse he is, the more she feels like she can fix him. Well, the reason why a lot of these women have these issues, not with men, but with themselves, is because that they don't trust men or women, because I would say 80%, and I may be wrong, but 80% of our women in our community, black women, have gotten violated by a man that they trust, and they got gaslighted by a woman that they thought they can trust. So I'll explain.
Well, that's where the what they call it, the work has to be done. I think they call it shadow work. It needs to be done with every man and woman in their lives, especially if you've gone through real serious trauma, whether it's a relationship or something much more deeper. It is your responsibility as you become adults to fix your unkept traumas. Because the last thing you want to do out here in these streets as a woman and as a man, but the more focus on the cheating part, is you want to bring your problems in a new relationship with another person. I mean, you hear it constantly, the ladies, men don't want to deal with your previous relationship or any unkept traumas into their lives. And it also applies to you as well, lady. You don't want to deal with a man with some unkept problems personally. Serious problems. Emotionally, mentally, and etc. Fair use and effect.
I would say 70 to 80% of our black women have been emmed, I don't want to say the word, emmed, when they were young. By a man, of course. And when they were emmed, that was the first violation. They go to their mother and say, hey, your brother emmed me. Your boyfriend emmed me. Because most of these cases are by somebody that the young girl knew. Your brother, your boyfriend, mom.
Now, my issue with the touching in the community from done by the boys to girls, boys on boys, girls on girls, and girl on boy, the touching, that there should be some form of punishment. Now, I never covered this, did any content of solutions if you found in your family that someone that's part of the family is touched my else's family, what consequence should be instilled. I like to take the aggression, the very violent part first, then serious counseling and serious therapy after it. But like I said, we can't take aggressive means because our people by default are not ready to deal with the serious consequence once we know we have somebody in our own circles engaged in serious acts that will damage a young child, boy or girl, that will become boys and men in the future. There should be a serious punishment for that. But like I said, we shall see. Fair use.
Brother, mom's boyfriend. And in a certain situation, in most situations, the mother turns around and says, well, you shouldn't be running around being fast. I tried to tell you, sit down. Now look at you. Or, well, what do you think is going to happen? Look what you be wearing. Or, I don't believe you. It didn't happen. Maybe you were dreaming about it. Because a woman, the mother, doesn't want to leave the man that emmed her.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's so attached to her family system where getting her brother locked up or disbarring her brother from the family or causing rifts in her family will cause her to get pushed out of the family instead of him. Imagine a woman, she's 28, she has a 5-year-old, 12-year-old, whatever, daughter, and then her brother turns around and does something, and then she says, your uncle so-and-so did this. This is your brother. And you look at this and say, okay, one, I'm upset, but two, what is the ramifications of me getting my brother locked up? What is my mama going to say? My mom, childhood trauma, always blamed me for everything my brother did. My mom treats my brother like Jesus compared to me. My brother is the favorite between us as siblings. If I betray my brother, I'm gonna get kicked out of his family. My brother is gonna hate me. My mother is gonna hate me. My aunt is gonna hate me. My other siblings is gonna hate me. I'm not gonna say nothing. And going back to the little girl, now the little girl gets gaslighted by her own mother, the person that she had, never-ending trust for, and she gets emmed by her mother's brother or her mother's boyfriend or whatever. And she stands up for the man.
And like I said, a few people watching. Keep liking the stream, everybody. I probably will put the link for those that want to jump up anyway. I'm going to soon wrap this up. What's this? Oh, look like they update the studio. All right, let's continue.
And she grows up not knowing who to trust. And then she goes out in the world and it's so normalized that men cheat, boys cheat, whoever cheats. Even women think it's okay that men cheat. Then she gets cheated on by her little boyfriend when she's 20 or 19. Now that just confirmed that it's not just that her uncle is trash. All men are trash. And then at the same time, at some point, she has a best friend, female, and then she sleeps with her boyfriend, or she betrays her, or she talks behind her back. And now she's like, these women are trash too. So just like what happened in my childhood, I can't trust my own mother because of how she didn't have my back. She turned her back on me, almost threatening to put me out. How many of you ladies have been?
And that's something that has changed in the Black community. That mothers need to start putting their daughters out in the street at a young age because of the assumption that her daughter is sleeping with her man, which a dog can't sleep with your man if your man is allowing to sleep with, I guess, either a minor or so-called legal age girl, which mostly 9/10 time when we hear about sleeping, we mostly it falls range of 16 and up. That mothers gotta stop doing that. You always gotta look at the man that you dealing with is why the hell is he entertaining your own prodigy, your own seed? Should be the biggest question. I'm just saying. Anyway, Fairies.
Threatened to get put out. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a woman and you've gotten threatened to be. And then you get violated by a man. So when you get older, you get out of the world, women betray you, betray your friendship and trust. But also men betray you. So you're like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what's going on. Then they grow up not knowing who to trust. So when we actually normalize, not saying you or anybody else, but as a community, when we normalize men cheating, it's almost like a woman doesn't have a choice but to be okay with men cheating. And now it turns into I'm going to catch him cheating so I can stop him from cheating instead of.
Which that'll make no sense. I'm not sure any woman that writes to my go say, I'm going to put myself in front so where you don't get the inclination of cheating on me. If you have trust issues, which a lot of us have, it's men and women, unfortunately, then maybe relationships not in your future is not a thing for you to be seeking, because you have to have some form of trust. Trust is the essential key to building anything. And if you come in unfaith, then don't bother jumping in at all, personally. I mean, time is your best friend, ladies and gentlemen. And if a person is not being transparent to you right up front, eventually the truth will come out eventually. I'm just saying. Very in effect.
I'm going to leave if you cheat because I'm not going to put up with it. Because in her mind, cheating being so normalized, the next man going to cheat on you anyway. So why leave him? The next man going to do the same thing. Because it's so embedded in our culture. And then, of course, her homegirls, they men cheating on them. Cheating is normalized to your homegirls. What does a woman do? I want to hear from you. Like, after all of this, what does a woman do to just have a happy life when childhood trauma is happening? People let them down at a young age, but now they're getting let down left and right by men. And now men are doing them wrong. And now they're turning around getting berated and bashed when they ain't even do nothing.
So first, let me respond to anybody who's dealt with that. I am sorry that you have to deal with that. It's a very serious thing, and it is. I'm hoping that you are well and that you're getting help you need. So I want to put that out there. But
I see some in the chat room. By A.B. live her best life with friends and family. Okay, let's continue.
That is a true thing that has happened in many cases. But we have to throw the other side as well. That it's not just men cheating. Women cheat just as much as men do.
I know. But women cheating is not normalized like men cheating. That is the point.
Actually, it is. It's not only it is, but it's expected that if your woman steps out, you're gonna be the one that's gonna be the fault for that. And that's just the honest truth. If she step out, it's your fault. And they'll tell you not only, well, actually, men are not going to agree with it, but the women are going to tell you personally that if your wife cheats on you, it's your fault. And it has to be normalized. because they facilitate what is normalized. If it wasn't normalized, Mr. Let Go, you hear a lot of women that find that this woman cheat on her husband. They will be very vocal. They will do live streams. They will sit there, open their mouth. They will gossip until say, this woman is the town whore over here. She cheated on a man. She'll be shamed in her actions of cheating on her man, and especially cheating on her husband. But in this society, you don't hear that. Because, let's be honest, ladies don't mind if they cheat on you. They want a side dude for the small things. If you're not giving them sex on a given basis, they will go find some man to get sex. If you're not paying for certain things, they will find a man to pay for the things. And if they're lucky, they might not have to give the box for that. So cheating is a two-way street. And regardless how we view that as normalized to the men, there are less men and more women. But that makes it that women are not going to cheat. So I had to correct you, Miss Leko. I had to correct you on that one. Fair use.
That is the reason why I want to talk about this, because like I said, if Nia Long cheated, she would be on a stake somewhere and everybody be looking at her like she's crazy. She probably wouldn't even get no movie deals or nothing.
See, I disagree. See, I think so. I think you and I have the same perspective that cheating shouldn't be promoted. I wholeheartedly agree. If you check out my channel, I'm wholeheartedly against this, and I did a talk on this as well. Okay. But if a woman cheated, it'd have been he did something wrong. What did the man do? He wasn't there emotionally. He must not have been doing something. He must not have been laying it down. Like, think about this. We don't hear men cheat better than women. We hear women cheat better than men. This is what I'm saying. So culturally, I hear what you're saying, but it's just not factual. So, well, factual in the context that it's normalized for men, but not for women. It's normalized for men, but it is celebrated in women. Right. And I think that's what's wrong with this destructive culture. And this is a result of toxic modern feminism, where this liberation, do whatever you want to do, has opened the gateways. And now, even though men are the normalization of cheating for men is a true thing, the celebration of women cheating is even a bigger thing in today's culture.
I'll stop right there. And Mr. Let Go gotta laugh at that because he know what Mr. Hell Speak said was on point. And I can't deny what the brother said. He's speaking what I just told y'all earlier. They celebrate that shit. It is what it is. You get me? Yeah. Oh yeah. They celebrate that junk for real. Let me get rid of this banner. They celebrate it. They truly do celebrate it. And when they celebrate it, people, men, they do it with a smile on their goddamn face. They said, I'm going to cheat. And once I cheat on you, it's going to be always your fault. Your fault. I stepped out in a relationship because of you. It is your fault. So I'm in the right. Let's be honest, people. We all know what's going on with certain celebrities. The one they call Jada Pinkett Smith. She's having her cake and eating it too. We don't hear no infidelity from Will Smith at all. But Jada's getting all the praise and celebrate for her entanglements. Imagine that. Imagine that. Links in the chat room for those that want to come. I'm probably going to wrap this up. But before I do, to wrap this up, at the end of the day, men cheat, but is it really bad? Answer is no in society. And the reason why I say no, and I'm going to stand for when I mean no, is because there are more men and women. One thing. And the other thing is that women cheat very secretly, and it's cool. There's no shame. There's not shame for the men doing it. So when people talk about saying, is it really bad, I had to say no because men are getting their repercussions once they cheat in a society. Men that have money get consequences same way, and men that don't got no money get the same consequences same way. So it's an even playing field. You as men, you step out, society has things in place for you, depending if your money's not tied up to said woman. A woman does it, you might need some evidence and proof, especially you married, because if you don't got the evidence and proof, you're not gonna get nothing in divorce. And let's be honest, the reason why they'll punish and chastise men and women when it comes to stepping out is because you got to pay out of pocket, gentlemen, for every decision woman makes. You must be their savior at the end of the day. And if you're not being that savior, you possibly serve no usefulness for a lot of women out here. So what can you do, brothers and other men? You're going to have to play the even field. You might have to be on a neutral playing field with this one. But what I know. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you're new to the Chaos Rain channel, welcome to Chaos Rain channel. And for those that want to be subscribers in the near future, hit that red button and hit that top notification bell for uploads and live streams here on the Chaos Rain channel. Also, I have Twitter. I also have a Twitter account. So follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. I would like to tweet with you on Twitter. And also add me on Facebook as a friend. Eric Rain on Facebook. And join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain channel. That is all in the About section on the Chaos Rain channel. And those are all, and I mean all the links. Thank y'all for watching or listening to today's stream. I'm looking forward to hearing from you from the comment sections of this video. And until next time, let it get us.